Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're embarking on a journey to understand Diffusion Engineers Ltd. They're a company not just reporting strong Q1 results, but really strategically reshaping its future.
Right.
Our mission, dissect their financials, explore this bold shift they're making towards higher value engineering, and uncover the risks and rewards as they expand, both here and well, across the globe.
Okay.
Let's unpack this.
Exactly. And, diving beyond just the headline numbers in any company update, it's so critical.
Yeah.
It's really how you grasp the strategy, right? Their market position, how they plan to navigate what's ahead. It's getting under the hood, not just looking at the speedometer.
Absolutely. So let's start with the engine itself then. Diffusion Engineers Ltd.
Oh.
They started way back in 1982 in Nagpur, India.
Long time.
Yeah, built a solid reputation as a specialized engineering solutions provider.
Right.
Really vital to sectors like steel, cement, mining, power, infrastructure too.
The core industries, basically.
Totally. And their product list is, well, it's comprehensive. You've got specialized welding electrodes, flux cord wires. Those are the ones packed with flux, right?
Yeah, for specific welds.
Right. Then there are heavy-duty wear-resisting bits like wear plates, wear parts. They even make heavy engineering equipment, thermal spray powders.
And the services, too.
Oh, yeah. The services are key. Repair, refurbishment, things like super conditioning.
Which is basically bringing worn parts back, sometimes even stronger than before.
Exactly. And just for context, they listed on the NSE and BSE back in October 2024.
So relatively new to the public markets.
Right. Now, knowing that background makes their Q1 FY26 results, the ones ending June 30, 2025, even more interesting.
Okay.
They reported a really solid start to the financial year. Consolidated revenue was up 13.48% year-on-year, hit 806.65 million rupees.
Decent growth.
Decent growth, yeah. But here's where it gets really interesting. Their profit after tax, the PAT, it didn't just climb, it soared.
How much?
A massive 68.62% jump to 122.64 million rupees.
Wow, okay. That's significant. Way ahead of revenue growth.
Exactly. Management pointed to, strong market conditions, their operational experience, good execution. But they also flagged a big boost from exports and just steady domestic demand.
Yeah, and what stands out there, to me anyway, is that profit jump really outpacing revenue. Yeah. That often signals, really effective cost management, operating leverage kicking in.
Right, spreading those fixed costs.
Exactly. As sales grow, the costs don't grow as fast, so profits surge. It suggests things are clicking internally, matching those external opportunities. Pretty broad-based performance, it sounds like.
Okay, let's dig into their business segments then, because this is where you really see the strategy playing out.
Right.
Diffusion Engineers recently landed a big domestic order. 480 million rupees, that's 48 crores, for high-pressure grinding rollers, HPGRs.
Okay, HPGRs. For cement, right?
Yeah, for a leading cement company in India. And this isn't just a big number. It really cements, pardon the pun, their dominance in wear part solutions. That's a critical high-value area for them.
And what's fascinating here isn't just the order size. It's how vital HPGRs are in making cement and the recurring nature of this business.
Ah, okay. Recurring how?
Well, the main rollers might last, say, 4 or 5 years, but they need constant, careful maintenance, often replacing wear components to keep things running optimally.
Right, they wear down.
They do. And the market dynamic in India is pretty interesting. The total number of these rollers in cement mills, the roller population, it's growing.
A mill's more roller.
Exactly. And roughly maybe a quarter of all those rollers come up for replacement each year.
Wow, so it's a built-in demand cycle.
It really is. Constant need for their expertise, their parts. Plus, they can supply rollers for brand new mills, too, not just replacements. So it's a strong, ongoing demand.
That sounds like a powerful, consistent revenue stream. But they're not just sticking with that, are they? The management seemed pretty clear about its strategic pivot.
Yeah. What was that?
They said their heavy engineering and wear parts business will grow faster in comparison to consumable business.
Okay. Shifting focus.
Yeah. Which makes you wonder, right? Why deliberately shift focus like that?
Well, it usually boils down to margins, right? And market position.
Makes sense.
There's growing demand for the whole complex component, the specialized wear parts, the critical heavy engineering stuff. Maybe less so for the more commoditized welding consumables.
Okay.
And secondly, finding really highly skilled labor for that specialized on-site metallurgy work, it's getting harder.
Right. Tricky to find those people.
Yeah, so customers might lean towards integrated providers like Diffusion Engineers. These more complex solutions, they need special metallurgical knowledge that, frankly, not many companies have.
So by shifting focus.
By shifting, they can target things with high entry barriers, areas where maybe very few manufacturers are present to make in India.
Less competition.
Less competition, higher value. It lets them preserve or improve margins because they're not fighting it out in the crowded spaces.
So moving up the value chain, basically, where expertise really matters. That makes a lot of sense. But does operating there, in those higher value, higher barrier segments, does that bring new risks, longer sales cycles maybe?
It certainly can, yeah. Higher value often means longer lead times, more complex project management. You're more reliant on a smaller group of really specialized people. But it looks like Diffusion Engineers is kind of getting ahead of that, right? With their capacity expansion, focusing on skills. It feels like a calculated risk, aiming for that higher reward.
That's a great point. Calculated risk. Now, let's zoom out a bit. Industry, future outlook.
Okay.
Diffusion Engineers stated they're well-positioned to deliver superior performance in FY26.
Confident.
Yeah, seems like it. They're pointing to rising domestic capital spending CapEx across India's core industries. Plus, a supportive policy environment helps.
Right, the whole Make in India push, infrastructure spending.
Exactly. And their priorities seem clear. Deliver the orders they have, on time, good quality, accelerate that product mix shift towards the higher margin engineering stuff.
Makes sense.
Strengthen the export channels. And keep a tight grip on costs, especially with raw materials being so volatile.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for their growth path, short-term, long-term?
Well, a big part of that picture is the capacity expansion they're doing.
Right, tells you they're expecting demand to hold up.
Or grow, yeah. Their Unit 5, that's the consumables one. It's in advanced stages. The slitting line, the electrode plants, they should be running by Q3 FY26.
And that's not just more volume.
No, it's significant. It'll basically double their capacity for special purpose electrodes, 10 tons a day. And crucially, it allows for backward integration for their flux cord wire making.
So making a key ingredient themselves,
Well,
or control.
Exactly, control over costs, over supply. Meanwhile, Unit 4, the heavy engineering workshop, that's moving ahead quickly too.
And that's needed for?
That's crucial for scaling up production of wear plates, wear parts, the heavy engineering components, meeting that demand from steel, cement, power.
Okay. And when does this new capacity really start showing up in the numbers?
They said some incremental revenue in FY26, but the full impact, the full visibility, that really kicks in during FY27.
Got it. So planning ahead.
Definitely. These domestic investments show they're preparing for sustained growth in India's core industries, future-proofing, really, securing their supply chain.
And internationally, what's the plan there?
Internationally, they're using what they call an asset-light model.
Asset-light, meaning?
Meaning they focus on movable things like equipment and leveraging experienced local people rather than immediately buying land and buildings.
Okay. Less upfront investment.
Right. It's smarter, more agile, lets them replicate their success in new places without that huge initial capital risk. More flexible, less risky expansion.
That is a clever way to scale globally.
Yeah.
Test the waters first. And speaking of global, their international strategy seems pretty ambitious.
How so?
Well, they've set up Diffusion Solutions, Middle East LLC, in the UAE. They're also present in Turkey.
Getting closer to Middle East customers.
Exactly. Offering local services, hard-facing, cladding, super conditioning, plus the wear parts. This adds to their existing export business, which already goes to over 30 countries.
Okay.
And the goal, they want to double that number of countries in the next 2 to 3 years.
Wow, okay. That's aggressive growth.
It is. Rapid expansion target.
And connecting this to the broader picture, their expansion isn't just random, right? It's very targeted.
Yeah.
They're focusing on countries with big steel, cement, power, and engineering sectors, playing to their strengths.
Thanks, Ed.
We're seeing them grow in Africa, East Africa, now West Africa. They're actively looking for partners in Central Asia, too.
Spreading the net.
Yeah. And a key move is their participation in that big welding show in Essen, Germany.
Oh, right. The International Welding and Cutting Show.
Exactly. It's a flagship event, only happens every few years. It's a prime spot for them to find new partners, distributors globally, really pushing that international agenda.
So a very strategic footprint expansion, hitting those industrial hubs. And there's another interesting international bit, isn't there? The UK associate company.
Yeah, LSM Diffusion. They make thermal spray powders.
Right. And they mentioned some tech sharing, developing a special disc brake coating for future Euro 7 norms.
Yeah, that's fascinating stuff.
It is. It's designed to stop brake dust emissions, Apparently that dust can cause serious health problems.
No.
Alzheimer's, cancer.
Wow, so specialized materials tackling major health issues.
Exactly. From the factory floor right through to, the air we breathe in cities. It's incredible how industrial innovation can have these wider impacts. Really makes you think.
It does, but as you said, growth comes with challenges.
Right.
We talked about raw material volatility. What other potential key risks might pop up as they scale globally and shift their mix? New competitors, challenges in those new markets.
Well, the company seems very aware of the raw material volatility, especially for things like key rare earth metals, which are vital for their alloys and, subject to geopolitical stuff.
True.
But they seem to have learned from past disruptions, COVID, the Russia-Ukraine war. Their strategy involves a diversified supply chain.
Smart. Don't rely on one source.
Exactly. And the ability to pass on costs for new orders, so they aren't stuck with old pricing.
Yeah.
They did mention brief CapEx delays for Unit 4 because of rains, but overall they say plans are pretty much on track.
So acknowledging risks, but having mitigation plans.
Seems like it.
And that proactive approach, especially diversifying the supply chain, adjusting pricing it, shows how past experience has made them more resilient operationally. They're not just crossing their fingers. They've built in ways to adapt. But, as they go more international, navigating different regulations, currency swings, local business cultures, that could add complexity.
True. New challenges.
The asset-light model helps with the initial financial risk, but finding the right local partners and making that work smoothly, that'll be key for success abroad.
Absolutely. Local execution is critical. And they do face competition, naturally.
Who's out there?
On the consumable side, names like ESAB and/or welding come up.
Yeah.
In heavy engineering, maybe local players like ISJ, AI Engineering. Internationally, companies like Welding Alloys.
Right. Established players.
But is their model like Diffusion's, that sort of one-stop shop, or are they more specialized? What really gives diffusion engineers their edge, their competitive advantage?
I think that's precisely the difference. While those competitors are strong, very few, maybe none, offer the truly integrated manufacturing facilities that Diffusion has.
Right, from start to finish.
Yeah, they make their own consumables, the wear plates, wear parts, the heavy engineering gear, and crucially, they bundle that with comprehensive after-sales service or maintenance.
The whole package.
Exactly. That wide spectrum of products and services makes them, well, very unique. For the OEMs, the equipment makers, they get a local cost-effective partner, better coordination, plus that unique combo of precision manufacturing for big items and the surface treatment expertise.
And for the end users.
Yeah.
The factories, the plants.
For them, it's a complete maintenance solution. Reduces downtime, comes with warranties. It effectively takes away the headache of juggling multiple suppliers. Their focus on specific applications, cladding, reconditioning, super conditioning, critical repair, that's where the competition really thins out. It lets them carve out that specialized, high-value niche. They aren't just selling parts. They're selling, like you said, a solution. Industrial longevity.
That makes a ton of sense, especially where downtime costs a fortune. Okay, so to wrap up our deep dive, Diffusion Engineers Ltd. They're pushing hard into higher margin, heavy engineering and wear parts. They're backing it with major domestic expansion and that smart asset-light international strategy.
Yeah.
And their integrated model, it really does seem to position them uniquely in the industrial landscape.
A strong foundation involving strategy.
Definitely. So here's a final thought for you to ponder. What stands out to you about how a company like Diffusion Engineers isn't just selling products, but essentially selling uptime and longevity to the backbone of industry? And looking ahead, what new solutions might they bring as these foundational sectors keep evolving globally?
Interesting question. Lots to think about there.
Indeed. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.